What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for life. Coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. The Pittsburgh Steelers just finished playing their dirty, gritty rival, the Baltimore Ravens, it's considered Ravens Week here in Pittsburgh. Every time the Steelers and Ravens go at it, it's a dirty, tough, physical, hard-hitting matchup. I say dirty meaning physical, not dirty, but physical, rough matchup. Division rivals, hard-hitting teams, rushing similar styles, and especially coming into this season, it was meant to be a big game, and it felt like a big game the entire way. Week 8 of the 2020 NFL season, Pittsburgh came in at 6-0. They only ever did that one other time, I believe, or the last time they did it, they won the Super Bowl championship. And the Ravens came in at 5-1. And the last time they had done that, the last two times they had done that, they had won the Super Bowl championship for themselves. So both teams off to a super hot start, combining at 11-1, two of the best teams in the NFL. You could argue that Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Kansas City are the three elite teams in the AFC. So division control was on the line, Baltimore being one game back, and if they had won, they would have taken over the AFC North lead. So division was on the line here in Week 8, and this, like I said, big matchup from the jump. Pittsburgh coming off of a big win against Tennessee. Baltimore's only loss was to Kansas City, who's been running roughshod over a lot of the NFL so far this season. I said that in my predictions for the season to start, I said Pittsburgh would be an elite team if Ben was healthy, and I said that one of our first losses would come in the back-to-back road trip against either Tennessee or Baltimore, and that is not the case. Pittsburgh comes in, beats a previously unbeaten Tennessee team on the road, and now beats a 5-1 Baltimore team and a divisional win on the road. Major win for Pittsburgh here. Pittsburgh gets the win 28-24 in one of the most hotly contested games of the season. This thing delivered. You wouldn't know it in the first half. Pittsburgh in the last 2 weeks against Cleveland and Tennessee came out up 24-7 at the half in both weeks. This was transversive to what we have been doing recently. Pittsburgh goes into the half today down 17-7. Right away, first possession, first couple of plays, Lamar Jackson throws a pick six to Robert Spillane. We'll talk about him in a second. He gets a game ball today. Lamar Jackson throws the pick six on the first series. Pittsburgh feels like it's going to be out to a hot start. Baltimore comes down right away, nice long drive, and ties it up, and then goes up ahead, 14-7, and then to end the half, Justin Tucker hits a 50-plus yard field goal, 17-7. And Baltimore comes out and gets a stop on Pittsburgh to start the second half, and you're thinking, okay, Baltimore's looking like it's going to get the blowout here. They protected Lamar Jackson for a lot of the first half. Pittsburgh did get their share of pressure, but Lamar Jackson looked fairly comfortable in the rushing offense. Baltimore's rushing offense manhandled Pittsburgh like no team has done this season. Pittsburgh had, coming in, the number one rushing defense in the league, I believe, with allowing like almost a third of what we had allowed. Baltimore coming in with the best rushing offense in the league. So top rushing defense, top rushing offense, something had to give. And Baltimore won that matchup today in the rush. They did a nice job. Once the defense started getting tired, the Ravens defense was forcing Ben, getting physical on the line and forcing Ben to 3-and-outs, which then eventually tired out the defense, which then caused the defense to have a hard time watching the run-pass option. Lamar Jackson would stand in the shotgun and would do the inside fake, where he would either give the ball off to Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins, and then he would either fake it to them and run outside himself, or he would hand it off. And later in the second half, they went to the old college option, where Jackson would take the ball, bootleg out with the running back behind him, and either fake the pitch or pitch to the outside. So they used a lot of option running, which kept Pittsburgh really on their toes the entire day. And they had three running backs with really good numbers today. J.K. Dobbins with his first career 100-yard day. He ran very hard, had some nice stuff in the middle of the field. Gus Edwards as well, I think had like 85 yards rushing in this game, so he looked very good. And Lamar Jackson had his fair share of positive rushing numbers. I don't know what the numbers exactly were. I know he had over 60 yards rushing, if we don't account for sacks. So really solid for Baltimore's offense there. The three-headed monster did a really nice job there. Willie Snead also got a couple of nice plays in the short passing game, leading to long gains. So that was positive for Baltimore as well. But Pittsburgh came out in the second half and looked great. Got back to the short passing game, used that to set up a few long plays where they drew a lot of penalties. Between the short passing from Ben and the penalties that we drew on the Baltimore Ravens trying to look out for the long ball over the top, that caused some good drives for us. we came out and got a touchdown. Highsmith got an interception, and then Pittsburgh scored a touchdown. Then Pittsburgh's D got a 3-and-out. Then Pittsburgh scored another touchdown. So Pittsburgh comes down, wins the third quarter 14-0. The defense starts staying home and stopping the interior rush game. And Pittsburgh eventually goes ahead and wins this game 28-24. You got to give the resolve to the offense. They showed nothing aside from James Conner with a couple nice runs in the first half. We had no points on offense in the first half. Our only 7 points on the entire board were a pick 6 from Spillane. The offense came out in the second half, like I said, and got back to the short passing game and started being effective there. The defense got a lot of turnovers. Lamar Jackson had 4 turnovers in this game, 2 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles. Pittsburgh also got a 5th potential turnover, was a forced fumble that went out of bounds. It was almost recovered by Spillane as well. So Pittsburgh getting 4 turnovers and almost a 5th in this game on defense. Also, just pressuring the quarterback, getting home, getting sacks, getting tackles in the backfield was what caused us to get a nice stop. Baltimore gets down on a 4th and 3 down inside the 10-yard line. Pittsburgh gets a big stop there and then holds them at the 20-yard line to end the game. Where Pittsburgh gets the win 28-24. So here are the numbers. Offensively, not too gaudy. The combination of the short pass game plus Baltimore's good defense. Baltimore's defense is for real. It's an underrated unit. It's been underrated all season long. Big Ben, 21 of 32, just 182 yards. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Again, the completion percentage is not too bad, and no turnovers. So that's a big positive right there. But yeah, only 182 yards passing, and most of that came in the second half. I think Ben only had like 60 yards in the first half passing, so Baltimore's D was cutting off those short passes and was getting in the backfield, causing Ben to have some problems. Rushing the ball, our high rusher for today was 47 yards. James Conner, 15 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. It wasn't a bad game necessarily, I guess. Conner did have a decent first half, was totally shut down in the second half. We never saw Snell. McFarland had 1 carry that he could have broken away on, but he slipped. So 1 carry for like 1 or 2 yards. So that's all we had was 47 yards out of Conner. He did get a big touchdown, the second touchdown of the second half for the Steelers. But very small game out of the offense in general numbers-wise today. Juju Smith-Schuster, no catches in the first half, no targets in the first half, but comes out in the second half with 7 catches for 67 yards as our leader today. A lot of short stuff, and several times he caught short passes over the middle and broke tackles to extend the play and make some plays. And then Eric Ebron and Chase Claypool both had all receiving touchdowns for the day. Ebron 48 yards receiving, and Claypool really only had like 4 targets in this game. I think he had 3 catches on 4 targets. Was very quiet. In the first half, I think he only had 2 targets, including a fumble. He fumbled the ball today, but he did make up for it in the second half with a touchdown, which was the go-ahead touchdown, actually, for the Steelers in this game. So, again, the numbers aren't gaudy, but you got to feel good about getting back in the second half, getting many targets down the field. Claypool drew a penalty on a pass interference. McLeod drew a penalty on a face mask. I think Washington drew a penalty on a downfield shot, his only target of the game. So the numbers aren't great, but the Steelers did pull out with 21 offensive points, plus 7 on defense, so 28 total, and no turnovers. Well, except for the Claypool fumble. Ben didn't turn the ball over. So not too bad on offense. Good second half. Coming out after being down 17-7, Pittsburgh comes out in the second half and goes up 21. What was it? 21 to... What is that? 21 to 17. So Pittsburgh wins the third quarter decisively and wins the second half. Defensively, a lot to talk about quickly on defense here. Got to feel good about this defense. While there are not a lot of numbers on offense, there are a lot of numbers on defense. Biggest game ball here. Robert Spillane, 10 tackles, an interception for a touchdown, pick 6, and a fumble recovery. And a second fumble recovery that went out of bounds. He didn't have full control. So 10 tackles, interception, fumble recovery, and touchdown for Spillane today. Got to give Spillane a lot of credit. Coming in there hitting. He did allow 1 long play to Willie Snead on coverage underneath. Snead took a short pass that was covered by Spillane and then went downfield. Spillane did show a couple of weaknesses in pass coverage today, just like I've been saying. He's not a very good pass coverer. But man, this dude's a hitter. He's all over the field. He's creating turnovers. He's in there on everything. I can't say enough positive things from starting the game with a pick 6 on the first series of Baltimore, all the way up to getting a fumble recovery on the next to last series of Baltimore to put them out of reach toward the end of the game. So bookended with huge plays all over the field today. Also, big game for Stephon Tuitt. 8 tackles and 2 sacks out there. He had a big day, was all over the quarterback today. It was his biggest game of the season. He's been really big over the past couple of weeks. 2 sacks for him today. Other sacks, we had TJ Watt had a sack in this game, and Bud Dupree had a sack in this game, so 4 Steelers sacks overall. I think Ben was sacked twice. Pittsburgh had 4. So 4 sacks there. Bud Dupree also had a forced fumble as well. So Dupree with a sack and a forced fumble on 2 different plays. Love what he was doing out there as well today. Minkah Fitzpatrick had a forced fumble in this game, and also had the pass deflection at the end of the game. At the very last play of the game, Baltimore going for the win, threw the ball into the end zone to Willie Snead, and Fitzpatrick had the game-winning pass deflection. So, pass breakup and a forced fumble. Alex Highsmith with the interception. He's made plays 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Special teams tackles. He's gotten a lot of he got the interception. He's been involved. He pressured the quarterback twice today off the edge, spilling in for Dupree and Watt. I like what Highsmith is doing a lot out there. Also, Cam Sutton with a forced fumble. It is his 2nd consecutive game starting and his 2nd consecutive game with a turnover. I don't think the forced fumble actually was recovered. I think that's the one that went out of bounds. But Cam Sutton, again, trying to force a turnover, getting the forced fumble. I love what he's doing out there. And Vince Williams with the fumble recovery as well in this game. So he had I think he had like 6-7 tackles as well in this game. So a lot of big names here. We're looking at Spillane, Tuitt, Minkah, Watt, Dupree, Vince Williams, all played very, very well. I want to also give credit to Isaiah Buggs. Tyson Alualu, the middleman, went out in this game. Isaiah Buggs, who I've been high on in the past, I said he could possibly be a starter this season, had a big game out there. Didn't show up much on the stat sheet, but had a lot of big pressures. He had a big pressure on the 4th down, which caused the turnover and had Pittsburgh get the ball back on the goal line for Baltimore, taking points off the board. He had a couple of hits, which resulted in errant throws and throwaways and stuff. Lots of good pressures in there. The commentators were iffy on him at first. I think Buggs played very well in there. So I want to give credit to the 3 guys that have filled in for our starters coming into a big game like this. Over the past 2 weeks, we saw last week that Mike Hilton was hurt, and so Sutton had to come in and start at the slot corner. We saw that last week Bush went down, so Spillane had to come in, and now this week Alualu goes down, and Isaiah Buggs comes in, and all 3 guys in back-to-back big games with Tennessee and Baltimore here back-to-back make big plays, filling in for the starters. Cannot say enough positive things about those guys. So a lot of game balls on defense. Pressures, forced fumbles, interceptions, turnovers, touchdowns. The defense comes to play. And although Baltimore did look good on the confusion stuff with the read option, Pittsburgh came when it mattered on the last 2 drives and got the stops. They got the 4th down stop and also the fumble recovery on that last play, and also getting a touchdown today, and also getting the stop on the final series, the pass breakup in the end zone at the end of the game. So the defense getting points, making big plays, getting turnovers. Got to feel good about that, and you got to give the offense major praise for their second half efforts in scoring 21 points on offense in the second half and winning the second half overall. So you got to feel good overall about the Steelers. Cam Hayward did go down with an injury, and we did not see him come back. It was like the last series of the game, so no time for him to return. We'll see what happens there. Also, Deontay Johnson, he finished the game. He did play at the end, but he was hurt a couple times in this game where he went back into the tent, so his injuries continue. He only had 1 catch for, I think, like 5 yards in today's game, so it's been injury for him. And also, we didn't see Alualu return, so we'll see if Buggs starts next week or if we get Alualu back. So, got to feel good. Pittsburgh now gets to 7-0. We are the only undefeated team in the league. We have won back-to-back road games against Tennessee and Baltimore. We now get an extra game up in our division. So Pittsburgh is sitting alone, in my opinion, atop the NFL as the best team right now. With the short passing offense, with the motion, with the turnovers on defense, with the steel curtain being back to what it is, even playing through injury, getting big wins on the road, you got to feel good about the Steelers right now. What are you thinking? Who are your game balls? What do you think about this game? What do you think about next week? Talk to me about the Steelers, and I'll see you guys next week, guys. Thank you.